tell them suckers to move. I ain't in the mood. Got me with the crew, let me do what I do. I tell them suckers to poof. Got me in the booth, lobby in the truth. Let me do what I do. Yeah, remember when the U come through, enter the music jungle. Or back with the block, I used to rock, I used to fumble. I still rock down, drop the ball when I run through. I drop the classic shit, and drop the ball, Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the OnlyFights podcast. My name is Manny.
This is Alberto.
What's up, y'all? I hope you guys enjoyed a great weekend of fights. We had a lot of fights this weekend. I don't know if we can get to all of them, but
yeah, surprisingly, even with no UFC, we still had
we had Bellator, PFL, PBC, Dazn, ESPN. And well, the Zone had 2 cards. Yeah, man. So we have a lot to cover. You want to start with Bellator?
Yeah, start with Bellator. Not sure. I forget what the number was. Oh yeah, right here.
264.
Yeah, 264.
And now where UFC is at?
Yeah, right about there. They're at 260 something too. Yeah.
They catching up.
That's crazy.
They doing their thing, man.
Well, Bellator can have so much more because they're not pay-per-view, right? So.
I don't mind that.
It's almost like but it's almost like every event is like they don't have fight nights, right? So like you know how the UFC will have all these fight nights, so Bellator just counts everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into it. Well, just like knowing the names of the guys because I'm not really too familiar with them, but luckily it's a lot of old UFC guys, or not even old necessarily, just guys that went through the UFC and then go over there. It was a pretty good card. The first fight on the main card, Daveon Franklin and Evert Cummings. It was a heavyweight fight. I don't know if you watched. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Never seen either guy fight. I know Franklin is expected to do big things. He's fighting out of Jackson Wink, where John Jones trains. He's 4-0 in Bellator. He looked good. I think he beat the guy in like 20 seconds or something like that. Yeah, it was
fast. 21 seconds.
He hit him with like a low kick and then hit him with a high kick, which I thought was a high kick that knocked him out, but it looked like the high kick like landed on the shoulder, and then he hit him with like a right hand that dropped him, and then he might have hit him with 2 more on the ground, and then it was over.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, he called out Czech Congo. Do you know what Czech Congo is?
The name sounds familiar.
Real big guy, African American guy that fought UFC for a long time. He's like, super veteran. This guy's huge too. He's had some wars. So he called him out. I think that'd be a pretty good fight. Even though this guy's only, this is only his 4th fight, but he looked pretty good. The next one was another guy out of I don't know if he's out of Khabib's camp, but he's from the same area, the Dagestan, and his name is like Magedov, something like that. Russian guy, and he fought Fabian Stotts. It was a bantamweight fight. Never seen either of these guys fight too, but they're both ranked. The Russian guy is 3rd and Stotts is 4th. That was actually a really good fight. That might have been fight of the night. That was super entertaining. Like real high level grappling and shit.
Yeah.
They're both wrestlers. Obviously the Russian guy got that Russian style wrestling, same as Khabib, and the other guy has more of like the like collegiate wrestling.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like,
you know what I mean?
The college level.
Yeah, an Olympic shit. It was really good. It was like a lot of like high level grappling exchanges, pretty much the whole fight. It looked like Stotts was getting the better of him, and like he was always the one getting the takedowns. He was always able like to stop the Russian guy's takedowns and then like reverse it. It was pretty impressive. And he ended up getting the decision. I think it was the right call. It was a close fight, but he had him in a body lock in the 3rd round from the back. And that was like the most danger either guy was in. I think he had the Russian guy in the most danger in that position. He like couldn't get the choke in, but he almost had it. That was probably like I said, the most danger.
Yeah.
Either of them was in. That was a really good fight. I'm excited to see either of those guys fight again. The main event was Gegard Mousasi and John Salter. Both guys been in the UFC. I've seen both these guys fight in the UFC. It was pretty good fight. Like first 2 rounds are pretty close. I think John got a takedown in both the first and second round. It looked like he was kind of causing a problem, but I think he just gassed out. 3rd round, didn't really do much. Yeah, he went for a takedown. Mousasi ended up like reversing it, and then grounded and pounded him. It was pretty quick. That was in the 3rd TKO. Yeah, Mousasi seems pretty unbeatable in Bellator right now. I think they said he was champ since like 2019. I know he's been champ in a bunch of other organizations. I don't think he was champ at UFC, but he was champ like in I think in ONE and Cage Warriors and whatever was before UFC. I think it was like WEC or something like that.
I can never remember the names. So many different labels.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that I would like to see fight maybe some of the UFC guys again, even though he was there. But let me see. He's that's middleweight. Yeah, so middleweight would be the middleweight champ is Izzy. So yeah, I don't know.
Bellator has been giving some pretty good cards. I think it's only a matter of time before we see, maybe a demand for cross fights in MMA the same way we do in boxing. I think that would make things pretty interesting.
Yeah.
If you get some of these guys, like you mentioned, Mousasi taking on Izzy and, any of these guys, and even like PFL and some of these other leagues.
It's crazy because I feel like it's really just been like the last year, maybe the last 2 years that like PFL and Bellator and even like ONE are all like coming up. Like they're all right there.
Yeah.
Like we're starting to talk about these just as much.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just going to make the sport way better.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be more eyes on the sport itself rather than just, one league or.
It's going to be interesting to see how that, like what that evolves into. Because like you could be like, like somebody is, I'm the middleweight UFC champ and the middleweight Bellator champ. And there's another one that's,
Yep.
ONE champ and PFL champ.
Yep.
Just like in boxing.
Have the demand for cross promotions and that'll be interesting. That'll be fun.
We're already,
turn MMA,
like I said, we're
turn
already,
MMA into boxing.
We're already seeing it. The featherweight champ is Cyborg for the girls.
Well, we already seen what happened.
I think we forgot to talk about this one. Yeah, that is true. Patricio Pitbull fought. He fought AJ McKee for the featherweight title. Pitbull was double champ. He was champ in lightweight and featherweight.
Yeah, we didn't cover that. That was a very intriguing build-up. They were fighting in that tournament.
Yeah, what do they call it? Grand Prix.
Yeah, Grand Prix. Yeah, the $1 million tournament, and I think Patricia Pitbull was just like dominating his opponents. Well, they both were, and it really seemed like these were the two best in the world, man. Like they were just so dominant, and they fight each other, and AJ McKee gets that. He drops him, and when he gets back up, he gets him in a choke, and he never taps out. But I think the referee thought he was out. And
is that how it ends?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not quite sure if he was out because he was like disputing it after.
Because I think the ref even grabs his arm. I think he even grabs his arm and it just kind of stops it.
I could have sworn I seen his arm still like moving.
That's what I mean. Like he grabs his arm, but his arm isn't limp. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Yeah.
It was weird, but at the same time, it did seem like it was only a matter of time. I'm not too familiar with how that works, but.
Yeah, he definitely had him hurt. Like he definitely hurt him.
It was a statement for AJ McKee.
Yeah, for sure.
Even most of the time when these MMA fighters from other leagues like talk about UFC, Dana White seems to pretty much ignore it. He wasn't ignoring this. And he gave him his props, and I think Floyd Mayweather was I think he called him.
Yeah.
And like. To congratulate him and stuff.
I think he's undefeated, right? I haven't seen him fight before,
I believe so. I don't think he ever lost. Yeah,
undefeated.
He's the truth, man. He's really really explosive, really athletic.
Yeah.
The way he fights.
Yeah, it was a short fight, but he looked, solid all the way around.
Yeah.
And that's impressive. Pitbull's he's a beast.
And they talking about doing the rematch in what is it, 155 at lightweight? Because Pitbull was a champion
really?
on two different divisions. So, yeah.
Damn, that'd be crazy.
That'd be crazy, right? If he beats him, if he takes both his belts.
He takes both his belts from him, like
that'd be that. But that's honestly probably what will happen.
That's crazy.
AJ McKee's much bigger than Pitbull, so fighting at a higher division would probably just benefit him.
Damn, that's ballsy. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Because then what do you get if you're Pitbull and you win? You just defend your belt, but you know what I mean, you still lost the other. I mean, I'm sure, you know, usually when they go up to a higher weight class, they end up staying up there. You know what I mean? They don't want to go back down. So I'm sure that's why he probably didn't plan on fighting at featherweight too much longer, maybe. And it's like, nah, he's probably like, fuck it. But damn, that'd be crazy.
How much? I mean, you know, you got to question how much longer he has in total. You know, he's been in the game for a minute.
Yeah.
Pitbull.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That was like, what, 2 weeks ago, right? Yeah, that was when we couldn't cover the fights.
Yeah, I saw the highlight again today, and I was like, damn, I don't think we talked about that one.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, the Bellator card was pretty good. I'm definitely gonna watch more of the Bellator and get familiar with the guys. There's a bunch of UFC guys going there. Yoel Romero, he's going to.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
he's going there. He was actually supposed to fight Rumble Johnson, Anthony Rumble Johnson, who was in the UFC before. They were supposed to fight for Romero's UFC debut, and I think something happened with Romero. He didn't get cleared by the doctor to fight. I don't know. They never specified the details, but he wasn't cleared by the doctor to fight, so that fight didn't happen. Rumble Johnson ended up fighting somebody else in his fight back. I'm pretty sure he won by knockout, but it was still a tough fight for him. So Romero's gonna fight now. I think I saw that he got cleared, so he's gonna fight soon. I think October or something, and he's going up to 205. He always fought middleweight. He always fought at 185. Now he's going up 205, so he's probably going to even look more monstrous than usual. I think that's it for Bellator. It's a lot of fun fights coming up in Bellator, though. I think I saw Fedor's fighting again.
Wow.
What was the other one? I forget what the other one was, but
Fedor, man, that's crazy.
That's one guy. You know, he don't know how to do anything but fight. You know what I mean? Like,
God bless him, man. Yeah,
that's gotta be the only reason that guys like that keep fighting, right?
Been
like,
around since Pride, man.
Yeah.
Like that's insane.
He fought all the old school legends. Like, it's great. That's crazy.
Yeah, give that man his roses. Saturday, let's start with the Dazn card that took place over across the pond in I think in London. Yeah, in Fight Camp, Eddie Hearn's backyard.
Really?
That's where Fight Camp is taking place. Yeah, he got like a Playboy Mansion type crib. It's like nah, he got a obviously big house, big mansion, big backyard.
Yeah.
And, he just sets up like a nice little outdoor arena. It's beautiful. And I'm not gonna go through the whole card because I didn't watch it, but I did watch the main event where it's a light heavyweight fight. Joshua Buatsi taking on Latvian Balotniks. Not much to say about this. Buatsi's up and coming. He was 14-0. Probably the toughest fight of his career. Balotniks came to fight. Probably didn't win a round, but still did well enough to make the fight close up until the 11th round where he gets knocked out. If you follow our Instagram, I posted a video. It was a really nice knockout.
Oh, yeah.
Overhand right,
pretty vicious.
catches him. He kind of goes to the ropes, and I don't even think the referee counted. I think he just called,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he just stopped.
counted him out. Good stuff, man. It was a nice, fun knockout. Buatsi, I think that was a title eliminator for the WBA, who, if you've been following boxing, has been under a lot of hot water with the Michael Fox decision. Completely robbing that man. They looked into it. I didn't know this until after we did the episode, but they looked into it, man. That judge, so she has a history of, like, if you go on her Twitter, she has like tons of like racist tweets, and very like, I don't want to get too much into it, but yeah, just like racist tweets. And she was the one of the judges that had Michael Fox losing that fight when he clearly won every round. So I think they're going to, I don't know if they're going to take the loss off his record, but they might force a rematch or something along those lines. And then people are starting to look at the WBA, like they have like so many belts. they have like 57 champions or something like that.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's insane. So this was a title eliminator for one of their light heavyweight titles, and I don't think he's ready for those guys. I want to see him take on, maybe like Marcus Brown, or even like a Sergey Kovalev before he fights like any of those top guys, Bivol, Beterbiev. We'll see what's up. But that was DAZN. That was the first one in DAZN. DAZN had Virgil Ortiz taking on Mean Machine kavaliauskas, former Bud Crawford opponent. It's funny, that's how we remember him, Yeah. But he gave Bud Crawford a good fight, man. And he gave Virgil Ortiz a good fight. I was watching that with a smile on my face. It started off with a feel-out round. First round, a little normal. I gave it to Ortiz. Second round, kavaliauskas hurt Ortiz with a right hand like 2-3 times. And every time Ortiz got hurt, he got rocked, man. And he kept, like, he had that, like, warrior spirit, like come on, let's go. Yeah. But Ortiz was hurt in that second round. It was a clear round for the Mean Machine. He gets hurt again in round 3 and then has that, like, let's fight mentality. And then he drops kavaliauskas. So, 10-8 round for Ortiz. And then the rest of the fight, Ortiz kind of takes over. But he got hurt again, I think, in the 6th round. And by the 8th round, Ortiz drops kavaliauskas 4 times to get that stoppage.
Damn.
Beautiful fight. I love seeing these young guys, we're seeing these young guys step up in competition, pay for it. All year we've been seeing that. We saw Ryan Garcia take on Luke Campbell, get dropped in like the 2nd or 3rd round, get back up and stop him.
Yep.
We seen even in Virgil Ortiz's last fight, taking on Maurice Hooker, he didn't get really hurt, but he got hit with a lot of punches. That's just what's gonna happen when these guys step up in competition, and I don't want to hear nothing about him being exposed or nothing like that, man. Like,
that's how they gain experience.
Exactly, they gain experience. It makes them tougher. It makes them better, and it makes for better fights, man. So, shout out to Virgil Ortiz, man, taking on the tougher competition. He called out Crawford. I think we're gonna see Crawford take on Porter. He's a WBO mandatory, so I think we're gonna see that fight happen at the end of this year, so in November, on my birthday maybe. That'd be dope. Crawford.
If Crawford wins.
If Crawford wins, we might see him take on Virgil Ortiz. I mean, I want to see him take on Spence, but breaking news, which you probably already heard, Spence tears his retina. I was really scared, man, because a torn retina is nowhere near as bad as a detached retina, which is what Sugar Ray Leonard had in the 80s. Not to mention, we're so much more advanced, nowadays with
medicine, doctors.
Medicine. Yeah, exactly. So I was scared. I was like, yo, dude, I thought this might have been the end for Spence's career. And fortunately, I found out just by looking up information on all that stuff that it's not that bad. It heals.
Did they say how it happened? It happened like in training?
In sparring. Yeah,
he got hit.
It's crazy though, because so Pacquiao was obviously scheduled to fight Spence. On that same card, you had Ugas taking on Fabian Maidana, which is Marcos Maidana's little brother.
Oh shit.
And Maidana also suffered a cut, a really bad cut. So now Pacquiao is going to take on Ugas.
Oh, so they were both scheduled to fight on the same card?
They were both scheduled to fight.
At the same weight?
Yeah.
Oh,
the same weight, and just different opponents. Much different opponents. But hey, man, that's still a good fight. Pacquiao was training for the fight of his life, so I think he's going to be at his best, even with the layoff.
Yeah.
Ugas, look, man, I thought he beat Porter. He took on Porter and he dropped him, but they didn't give him the they said it was a slip or something, so he didn't get the 10-8 round. And he's good. He's Cuban.
Yeah.
Has that amateur pedigree and knows how to box, man. So that should bring on a good fight. But I still got Pacquiao winning, and after that he should
Do you
take
think
on.
it's a little bit of an easier fight for Pacquiao?
Yeah, especially considering Pacquiao's so good that like to fight him, you gotta train for him. You can't just 2 week notice. Nah, that's not gonna work. I mean, I don't see that happening. So unless the age thing catches up with Pacquiao, I think he should win this.
But I think, like you said, I think Pacquiao's like training his ass off. Like I think he really like has like wants to prove something. I think he's gonna be at his best.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. So, anyways, flip flopping through topics here, but yeah, man, the DAZN card was pretty good. I didn't really get to watch too many of the undercard. I did notice that they had Gutierrez taking on Rene Alvarado for the third time. I think that was their trilogy. Gutierrez won that by decision. Rene Alvarado's little brother Felix Alvarado was on the card, and man, he knocked dude out first round. It was bad. That was that.
Mm-hmm.
Showtime, a pretty rough night overall. They had 3 fights. I only watched the main event because the co-main event ended in a really bad head clash, no contest. It literally happened right away.
Yeah, that sucks.
Like first, 30 seconds of the fight.
The main event.
The main event, John Casimero taking on Guillermo Rigondeaux. Man, I don't know, man. It was such a if you know Guillermo Rigondeaux, man, he's known as like a boring fighter.
Yeah.
He's very, very slick, but he's not that offensive. Like he's very limited with how much punches he throws. I think I read somewhere that they set the record for fewest combined punches in a title fight.
Did it go all 12 rounds?
Yeah. Like I said, man, Rigondeaux was just moving around, being really slick. Casimero was chasing him, trying to bait him, really trying to press the action, but not doing much offensively because he couldn't catch him. Rigondeaux landed a few punches every now and then. I think it was like 200 and some punches in the whole fight.
Wow.
It was bad. Thrown, and then only like 46 landed. I think 46 landed. They were asking Rigo in the post-fight interview, like, you only threw 46 punches, and he's like, that's all I had to do. So after 12 rounds, they scored it for Casimero, and they had it 116 to 112, 113, 115, and then 117 to 111. I don't know, man. Like it's a weird fight because like I mean I thought Rigo won simply because he, I guess, outboxed him, but it was such a lackluster fight. You could argue that, Casimero was trying to press the action. I think the third round, he pretty much dropped him. It was weird, man. If you remember when Rigo fought Lomachenko, and he kept staying in one spot, trying to move, and then eventually going so low to the point where, like, now he's on a knee.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't see how that's like technically not a knockdown because it's like you took a knee. Like your defensive moves led you to either fall, take a knee, have your hand hit the ground, and this was all in reaction and responses to you either taking punches or evading punches.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, man. It's just weird. So I remember that was happening a lot in the Loma fight. And Loma was like hitting him, but then the referee was like, no, like he's down. But it wasn't a knockdown. And it was just like, some weird escape from fighting. To which, if you remember that fight, Loma, I'm pretty sure lied about a hand injury to get it to stop fight. He basically had the no mas moment, And since then, we've seen a more rough and aggressive Rigondeaux. I remember in his last fight, I think he got dropped, and then he dropped his opponent, and there was a lot of phone booth fighting. So that's why I thought this fight was going to be lit, man. I thought this fight was going to be action-packed, but as it turns out, it was really boring.
Yeah.
And, as boring as it was, as boring as Rigo was, I still thought he won the fight. Yeah, they gave it to Casimero. He remains undefeated, still champ, and maybe we'll see him take on the winner of Inoue and Donaire. But yeah, 60% of the people on Twitter voted Rigondeaux to be the winner.
Yeah.
Which 60%, I mean, decent amount, I guess.
Yeah.
Slightly more than half, but I thought Rigo won just based off, controlling the fight, regardless of how boring it was. Yeah, so not really the best night for Showtime, unfortunately. And more bad news, David Benavidez gets COVID. The fight, that was the fight before the Tyron Woodley and Jake Paul fight. Why couldn't one of them get COVID, man? I'd rather that fight get canceled, man. So David Benavidez versus Uskategi, I think that's just going to be moved on for a later date. Whatever.
Yeah, the fight's coming up soon, right? The Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley.
2 weeks from now, I think. The 29th or something like that, yeah. I can't
Isn't
wait.
there another... What else is on that card? Isn't there some...
Nah, yeah, the undercard is lit, man. I don't have it. Let me see if I can remember it. Amanda Serrano taking on Yamile Makata. I think... Who else is on that card, man? Montana Love takes on Ivan Baranchyk. He put up a scrap against Jose Cepeda. If you remember that Cepeda versus Baranchyk fight where both guys dropped each other like 6 times in the fight.
Yeah.
And
right.
it was nuts. That was the fight of the year in 2020, I believe. That was insane. So Baranchyk, the guy who lost that fight, he's taking on Montana Love. I know I met Montana Love, so that's kind of cool for me.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty excited to see that one. Tyson Fury's like
brother?
little brother, Tommy Fury.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's Tommy Fury. He's gonna be on that.
Oh shit. Who's he fighting? He's like a real boxer though, right?
I don't know because he's facing a 5-time Bellator veteran.
What?
And Anthony Tyler. Yeah, so he's fighting an MMA guy too. So I'm guessing he's not.
Wow.
For real, because this ain't cool, man. But that's right. Daniel Dubois is gonna be on that.
Yeah, so 2 weeks. That's gonna be interesting. That's a pay-per-view, right?
Yep,
Yes.
It's a pay-per-view. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be an expensive one. It shouldn't be if it is.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. No, we're gonna have to watch that. Just like we're gonna have to watch the Pacquiao Ugas fight, regardless. Even though I wanted to see Spence, but that's the COVID life, man. That sucks, man.
So is it for any belt now? Pacquiao's fight?
Yeah, he's actually taking. So Ugas has Pacquiao's old belt.
Oh,
because he got stripped because of all his inactivity.
Yeah.
Few interesting facts. So Pacquiao's going to be fighting for his old belt. He's going to be fighting for he's going to be breaking his record for oldest welterweight champion if he wins that fight. And now when he takes on Spence, it's going to be for more belts. It's not going to be for undisputed because Terrence Crawford still has a strap.
Yeah.
Or Sean Porter, whoever wins that fight. Welterweight division has been lit since I could remember. So that's fun. There was an ESPN card. Andrew Maloney taking on Joshua Franco. This was a trilogy. The first fight was, I believe, a controversial decision. Second fight, headbutt, no decision. And here we are with the third fight.
This was a trilogy?
Yeah, it was all right. Franco controlled most of the action. He had a couple close rounds. You could have gave to Maloney, but for the most part, he wins a unanimous decision. I think he deserved it, and that's that. That I think that's gonna close that chapter. It was pretty funny, man. Maloney throws a right hand and misses it, but Franco falls anyways, and they called it a knockdown. And Franco's trying to plead his case, and so Jack Reese was like, "Don't worry, we have instant replay." So Top Rank, I guess they allow instant replay now with their fights. And I remember the last time, man, it took like a half hour to get a decision after the fight was done, and it took like a half, and they still got the wrong call. It was bullshit. So shout out to Jack Reese because he took care of the situation in like 10 seconds, man. He watches the replay, realized it wasn't a real knockdown, and what he does is he goes up to he goes up to the commentators, and then he goes up to each judge, and he says, "I made a mistake, no knockdown. I made a mistake, no knock." And
so that was after he did watch.
That was after the round it happened. So that was in between. It was in the 7th round when that happened. So before the 8th round, they took out the knockdown. So I think that's a good step in the right direction for boxing if it's done right. And that was a good display. It was done right. Jack Reese admitted to his mistake. You know, a lot of times these guys, they kind of just stare at the commissioner and say, save me, you know.
Yeah.
And Jack Reese was like, nah, I made a mistake. Let's move on. That's how it should be. You know, just like when you challenge a play in football. Like, if it's right, it's right.
Yeah.
Move on. Then, you know, I don't want these 20-minute delays, you know, or even more than 20 seconds, man. Check the replay out, get a call, boom. That was a good sign.
Yeah, that's how you effectively use the replay, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
man.
like I feel like so many times the ref gets stuck in their ego or something, and they're just like, even though like they can know that they made the wrong call, but they just feel like they have to stand on whatever call they made, and that's it, you know what I mean?
Dude, I forget the fight, man, but I remember seeing a Robert Byrd. I'm trying to think. He reffed the Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor fight. He reffed the fight, man, and the round was over. Yo, the round was over, and they kept ringing the bell, and Robert Byrd didn't break up the action. So the one dude knocks his opponent down, and he was hurt bad, bro. And they're trying to tell him, like, yo, the round is over. Like, they shouldn't be fighting right now. They should be. It was the craziest thing. And then he finally stops it once he realizes, like, oh shit, the round's over, and finally stops it, and not the fight, but he makes him go back to their corners. Yeah, and then when the round started, like, the dude was just hurt really bad, and he let the fight just go on. Like, this is stuff that happened in between rounds when it theoretically shouldn't have happened. So I don't know, man. And then so eventually the dude gets knocked out, and it was just like, it was like one of the most like disturbing, like, you know, when you watch somebody make a mistake like that on TV, like on a professional level like that, it was just like, wow, man, you know what I mean? Like, talk about incompetence, man. But
yeah, we see it a lot. I feel we see it even more in, well, maybe not more, but we see it just as much in MMA and UFC. You know, the refs either they think someone's out. I guess the Pitbull one was a little bit like that, right? Like you said,
yeah, man, referees, they play a really big part in how fights can play out, because I mean, there's just times where, like I said, like the story of the fight could just be contingent on, like, whether or not the referee's gonna allow certain things.
Yeah.
Fighting on the inside, fighting on the ropes, dirty tactics, like Lomachenko when he lost to Salido. Like, Salido came in like overweight. He was hitting him in the balls like 3 times around. He was headbutting him. He was like, I mean, it was, you know, and this was Lomachenko's second fight as a professional after this crazy run in the amateurs. So that was like a nice, like, yo, welcome to the pros. This is different.
Yeah.
You know, and if the referee allows it, you just gotta deal with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? So referees play a really huge part. So I always love seeing you know, referees do good work, and I'm always gonna shout that out. So shout out Jack Reese for that.
Yeah, props to him for that.
On the undercard, you had Muhammad Ali's great grandson, Nico Ali Wash.
I think it was his debut, right?
Professional
debut.
Yeah, he washed his opponent, man. First round KO.
Yeah.
It really wasn't much to say about that, man.
Yeah, I saw it. Looked good.
Looked good, and you know, we'll see where he goes from here, you know, and who he fights, but that's cool. So, I think that was everything, man. What's coming up with there was no UFC this weekend. That felt weird.
Yeah, no UFC this weekend. Next week there's a good fight night. Let me see, I had it right here. Oh yeah, Jared Cannonier and Calvin Gastelum, middleweights. It seemed like the middleweight division is kind of, I think Izzy's kind of running through everybody. Like, he's already fought Kevin Gastelum. That was his toughest fight, maybe by far.
Yeah.
That was a war. That was an awesome fight. Izzy definitely needed that fight. Like, he had to have a fight like that. Cannonier is good. He's always up there, but he's lost to Whitaker. He's lost to a couple of those top 5 guys. Not surprised that we see Izzy go back up to light heavyweight, probably after Robert Whitaker too, which they said it was supposed to happen this year. I guess later this year. I don't know why they didn't say why, but it got pushed back, so now it's not gonna happen until early 2022. So I was hoping to see Izzy again this year, but I guess that's not gonna happen. That's the one next week. That's the fight night next week. There's a couple fight nights in between, and then the next The next pay-per-view is 266. Volkanovski and Ortega for the featherweight belt. Valentina Shevchenko and Murphy for the flyweight belt, females. And then that's the return of Nick Diaz. We talked about that a little bit last week, I think, against Robbie Lawler. Yeah, I don't know. I still don't know what to think about that fight. I'm hoping it's good. I hope it's a good fight. Robbie Lawler, we haven't seen him fight in a while. His last fight might have been against Ben Askren, which is also kind of a controversial decision. You remember that one?
Yeah.
That Robbie Lawler came out swinging, like he was. It looked like he was beating up Ben Askren pretty good. He like picks him up and like slams him down, and then Askren gets a hold of him, gets him in a choke, and I think it was Herb Dean. Herb Dean called the fight. I guess he thought that Robbie Lawler was out, but he wasn't out. As soon as he let go of it, he was like disputing it. But I think a lot of times too, those guys can like go out, go to sleep for a little bit and then come right back. I think that's what happened there, because in that video you see Herb Dean shake Robbie Lawler's arm, and that one his arm looked limp. But then as soon as he let go of it, he like stood up. It was kind of crazy. The other fights they announced was Michael Chandler versus Justin Gaethje. That's not gonna be till like 268, I think.
Seen that, yeah.
But that's gonna be a good ass fight.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that one. That lightweight division just super stacked. I guess we don't know what Poirier is gonna do. I saw him talking shit with Nate Diaz a little bit.
Yeah.
So I thought he was gonna get the title fight, but now it looks like he's going for another money fight.
Hey,
So
get
more
your
power
money,
to him.
man.
And
I
that he's huge in charities and stuff, and his foundation and stuff. So that's super dope. See him be successful.
He'll probably
And-
beat him.
Oh yeah, he might hurt him.
Yeah.
I always get scared when I see Nate Diaz fight guys like that, because especially Nate Diaz is little. I mean, he's not little. He doesn't like to cut weight, so he's fighting at 170.
Yeah.
But he's like a 155 or maybe probably one time was a 145er.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy seeing him fight these bigger guys. Like he's talking about like he wants to fight Usman. That's wild to me. That's even worse than Poirier.
And that's crazy that he can get those fights.
Like
Just off his personality, man.
he'll get any fight he wants as long as the other guy agrees to it.
Yeah.
Like,
And people, you got that Nate Diaz army, man. Like,
yeah, like he said something. So what happened? I think Poirier said something to Nathan, and then Nate was like, I think he tweeted Nathan with a question mark, and then he was like, Nate right was like, stop being a bitch, let's fight. Like,
yeah.
and then I think he didn't take it, and then because then like a couple of days, Nate tweets like, oh, see, I knew you were a bitch. I knew you weren't gonna take the fight, like insinuating that Poirier turned it down.
Yo, UFC Twitter's that should be lit.
Yeah, it'd be entertaining.
Yeah.
I don't even have Twitter, but I still manage to watch it.
I get on that shit. Yeah. So next week we got Pacquiao and Ugas, man.
Oh, that's next week.
That's next week.
Nice.
Ugas was supposed to be like we went through this. He was supposed to be in the co-main, but now we have Robert Guerrero taking on Victor Ortiz. That's just gonna be an interesting fight because both guys have been out the game for so long.
Victor Ortiz that fought Mayweather.
Yep. Yeah, the one that headbutted him, and then people said he got sucker
knocked out,
punched, but that was some shit.
If anything, I was on the ref, right, for not like.
Nah, that was good. That was good. Protect yourself at all times, man. And then the week after that, I don't know. I guess they're just canceling. Yeah, they're gonna cancel the fight before, but Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley, that's gonna happen.
I saw that the Oscar De La Hoya and
I was just about to bring that up too.
who was he fighting?
Vita Belfort.
That's actually happening, and you see what they added to the undercard.
David Haye.
I didn't see that, but also Anderson Silva.
Oh, I'm looking at this right now. Yup.
Is gonna box Tito Ortiz.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. Yeah, yo, they.
That should be entertaining.
Dude, they filled this freak show up because, that's crazy. So Anderson Silva versus Tito Ortiz. Wow, no, I did not hear about that.
Yeah.
But I'm finding this out. But David Haye is making his return, and he's gonna take on Joe Fournier. I remember that guy from another freak show. I think it was the last Jake Paul event. He is...
The name sounds familiar.
He's a billionaire, dude. He's a billionaire boxer. He's undefeated with all knockouts, but he never really fought anybody. His last opponent was a rapper. you can't make this shit up, yo. Like, this is this is Triller. This isn't, but we're gonna cover it because, my God, like, De La Hoya versus Vitor Belfort and Anderson Silva versus Tito Ortiz in boxing. Like, that's just, bro. We're gonna get drunk.
Yeah, now I definitely want to watch that.
We're gonna get drunk as shit and watch that. Yo, I love boxing, bro, but I enjoy that shit. That it's fun. It's fun. It's fun to me, man. Like, I don't care. It's killing the sport. Shut up, man. No, it's not. Fans kill the sport. Not that shit. Anyways, if you do want to support real boxing, September 11th on Showtime, Stephen Fulton, I think he's from Philly. Shout out to him. Takes on Brandon Figueroa for WBO junior featherweight title. Beautiful fight. Check that out. If you're complaining about the side shows, you gotta watch real boxing. That's real boxing. That is man. True. I
bet you a lot of people complaining about those other fights aren't supporting.
Don't give a damn about unless it's a big name, And Stephen Fulton, these lighter weight division boxers, man, they don't seem to get the recognition, which is a shame. But heavyweight is the glamour division, and Anthony Joshua takes on Alexander Usyk September 25th. For all of his titles, he got the IBF, WBA, and WBO. Mm-hmm. That should be a good one, man. AJ always struggled with the smaller guys. Povetkin had him wobbled.
You said September what?
25th.
Oh, that's the same night as UFC 266.
Well, it doesn't matter because that's in London. That's gonna be a during the day fight.
Oh, shit.
I mean, during the day for us, it's gonna be like 6, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
But it'll probably be right before, like,
they'll probably
the
set
main
it up
card.
right before.
So that'll be nice. But
that should be a good night.
But that should be, AJ obviously got knocked out by Ruiz, smaller guy, hurt by Povetkin.
Dropped by Klitschko.
Yeah, but Klitschko's big. I'm thinking about his smaller opponents. Even like Takam, like he was able to limit AJ a lot, and Joseph Parker, same thing. So, and Alexander Usyk is probably the most skilled fighter that AJ is gonna fight to date. So I don't know if he could take AJ's power. We'll see what's up. That should be a good one, though. October 9th, we have Tyson Fury, another heavyweight fight. Deontay Wilder, the trilogy. Finally.
It was pushed back, right? That was when it got pushed back?
Yeah, because
COVID.
Because he had COVID, and then he sent in a negative test result. So, yeah, I got COVID. It's like, dude, this is negative. It's a false test. Like, I don't know, man. Everybody seems to think that was bullshit. I don't.
More time.
I'm guessing ticket sales, dude. Actually, I'm almost gonna say that I'm positive that it was ticket sales because I seem to remember Bob Arum saying that he was gonna make the fight in Las Vegas in the Raiders Stadium, which holds a lot of people, like 90,000. And now that they rescheduled it, they're gonna do it. I think at the MGM, which holds much less.
Yeah.
So ticket sales are probably the thing. But I don't know, man. That undercard is lit, man. You have top prospect Jared Anderson. He's going to be on that. Robert Helenius is going to rematch Adam Kaunaki. He upsetted him in their first fight, knocked him out in like the 4th round. Really exciting fight. I'm looking forward to the rematch. And then the co-main event is going to be Efe Ajagba taking on Frank Sanchez. These are all heavyweight fights. This is just all heavyweight cards. That's gonna steal the show, I think. Efe Ajagba, Frank Sanchez, 2 top heavyweight guys. This is the thing that, again, I want to reiterate to the people who complain about boxing, man. This is a top fighter taking on a top fighter, and this is heavyweight. This whole card is heavyweight. That should be a really good one. That's going to be, I think, Showtime pay-per-view.
Nice.
On ESPN Plus, Jamel Herring taking on Shakur Stevenson, October 23rd. WBO lightweight title on the line. That's going to be a really good fight. Good fights, man. Good fights coming up on both ends, on MMA and boxing.
Yeah.
Despite a lot of good fights being taken from us due to COVID and injuries and BS.
It's crazy.
Hey, Canelo and Plant are talking again.
I saw that. I read that. I read that they're back in negotiations.
Yeah, they're talking again, man. Let's see if they'll Let's see if they'll make it happen.
Hopefully,
I think so.
Hopefully that happens. So now they're looking at like November.
They're looking at November. I'm telling you, man. November. I don't want to jinx it, man, but November should be a lit month, man. It's my birthday too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Clarissa Shields announced her next MMA fight.
Yes.
October 27th. She'll be back. PFL cage or ring or whatever they have.
Whatever they got, right?
Abigail Montez, a Mexican fighter, making her PFL debut.
Yeah.
She's 2-0 as a pro, so that should be a good fight.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see Clarissa, keep fighting and keep doing the thing in MMA.
Yeah, she has to defend her boxing title though soon, I think. So
Yeah, she said she plans
that.
on doing both.
Probably.
Yeah, she'll probably get in one more MMA fight and then go back to boxing.
Yeah, because PFL's on like a schedule, right? Just like they have seasons and stuff.
Yeah.
Playoffs and all that. So.
Which I don't know how it works for a new fighter like that. Like I don't know if she's automatically in that. Like, can she already make the playoffs? Like, I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah, I do want to get into it and start following it because that's pretty cool. That's a cool thing to do in combat sports.
Yeah, definitely. Even like the Grand Prix that Bellator has every once in a while. Like, they don't have it all the time. I think they do it whenever they have kind of like when the division stacks up a little bit. They just kind of do a little Grand Prix, and then the winner gets $1 million.
Yeah, I think the Zone was doing something like that. The World Super Boxing Series, or they were having it. You know, a lot of guys came out of that, like Usyk and Andre Ward, Caleb Plant, the guys like that, Neo Inoue, just a few off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, tournaments always make combat sports way better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's a tournament, dude.
It's just how our brains understand sports.
Exactly.
Too, right? Like,
you know, and yeah, that's how playoffs work in every other sport. So
yeah, like we love a good
see
bracket.
Stuff like that happen more in boxing, man.
Yeah, so that should be good. That should be good. I think it's interesting too how it almost sounds like Bellator is paying fighters more, or at least like the regular fighters, I think are getting paid more than UFC. Than UFC fighters are.
Man,
like
we
the regular fighters.
We could go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, money's obviously I don't know, but yeah, pay your fighters, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I saw Sean O'Malley was saying, he was complaining, saying how well, it's interesting, right? 'Cause he like talks so much shit, and even after his last fight, he called out like the top 3 guys basically. But then we found out today, I guess the UFC offered him the fight in New York, the New York card coming up, and they want him to fight Frankie Edgar, who is a veteran. I think he's still ranked in that division, but he's older. He's got knocked out by a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
And I guess O'Malley turned it down. Like, he doesn't want to fight. He pretty much said that he doesn't want to fight ranked fighters because based on his contract, he's getting paid the same amount for his next couple fights, no matter who he fights, whether they're ranked or not. So he said, why would I fight a ranked fighter, you know what I mean, if I'm not going to get paid more for it? So he pretty much admitted that he's fighting the lesser opponents right now for that reason.
He should have been a boxer then.
Yeah.
Should have been a boxer, bro. Can't pull the shots in UFC like that.
Yeah, and I think he even said, like, UFC doesn't need me. You know what I mean? He said they don't need me, but he's like, if they wanted me to be a superstar, then he's like, he could. Which I think he will. I think he will be, like, the kid's fun to watch. Like, I think I think they're being smart. Like, obviously we understand why they wouldn't want him to fight higher ranked guys, and they got to build him up a little bit. Like, I really don't think he's ready. Like, I haven't even seen him on the ground yet. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I don't think he's ready for like a super high ranked guy. Like, he fought Tito, the Ecuadorian guy, who was ranked like 15th or something at the time. And, that was a leg injury, but, Tito, it was from a kick, you know what I mean? So like, he beat him. And I kind of hate that too. I think that's why I hate on Sean O'Malley. He always says that he's undefeated. He always says that he doesn't count that loss. I'm like, that's you fucking lost.
Hey, cocky dude.
But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. Like, I wonder if a guy like him would go to a Bellator or something if they pay him more, like a younger guy. Like, if they start losing their younger guys, then maybe they'll start paying them. You know what I mean?
That would be good for Bellator too.
Fuck yeah,
they
him.
could use somebody like him. They were talking about maybe getting John Jones. John Jones obviously. I don't know how much longer he has with the UFC and stuff, and if he's on the contract right now or whatever. But
I'm pretty sure he's under contract. But I know they're having disagreements with money too. I think John Jones wants. I think he said he wants $10 million Oh no. I think he normally gets like 5 to 10 or something, but he wants like 20 or 30 or something.
Well,
they don't want to give it to him.
Yeah, I mean, Bellator could snag that dude, man. It would definitely shake things up and over there.
Oh yeah. But obviously, like UFC, the big thing, the heavyweight champion, Francis Ngannou, like that's really the guy that we want to see John Jones fight.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if so, just crazy scenario. If like Bellator could manage to get like John Jones, and obviously he's just, I wouldn't doubt that he could probably run through, those guys over there, and become super big, make Bellator super big, and become super big like he's not already.
Yeah.
But like, and then just call
elevate.
out some of these UFC guys and be like, and then that's when the whole cross promotion thing will take place, and that'll be crazy.
Yeah, the Bellator champ Ryan Bader, I think John Jones beat him in UFC like early in John Jones's career. He beat him, and then there's an interim champ, some Russian guy. There's another Russian guy that's lightweight champ, and I guess he beat Ryan Bader, because I know Ryan Bader was a double champ too. He was light heavyweight and heavyweight champ. Yeah, that guy's been around for a while. He's fought everybody. I think he fought DC, fought all those guys. Yeah. That should be it'll be interesting to see what happens with John Jones. I think he said he's not fighting till next year.
Yeah.
But he's getting big. Like if you follow him,
I've seen a lot of his workout videos, man.
He's put on a lot of mass.
Yeah.
Which it's not surprising. You see his brothers. His brothers are monsters. He's like the smallest one out of his brothers. Like his oldest brother Arthur that played for the Ravens. That guy's huge. Like he was like D lineman, like massive fucking human. What else? You got anything else?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that's all I got.
Yeah, well, fun. Like I said, man, fun weekend of fights.
Yeah, surprisingly.
We thank you guys for tuning in. This was the OnlyFights podcast. My name is Manny.
This is Alberto.
And we out.